What's up guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Pokechomp and this is my first ever Pokemon investing video. So let's start pretty strong. I think one of the best things you can put your money in right now is Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith ETBs are nearing $200 and yes, they are starting to get more expensive, but you cannot ignore how good of a set Crown Zenith is. Crown Zenith is out of print. It has like 30 to 40 plus chase cards inside of the set. It's getting constantly ripped by ripping shippers. You can't find a single person who does not like the set. There is nothing bad Crown Zenith wise that you can't hold. I feel like Crown Zenith is really interchangeable with Evolving Skies. And when we get to a point in 5 to 10 years when Crown Zenith is not readily available and probably only in the hands of either hardcore collectors and ripping shippers, I fear what that price will be. Now, debatable. I have two opinions on 151. I think 151 is extremely investable and extremely good, but I do think that we will go towards a decent time of stagnation. Hear me out. So let's say in 1 or 2 years there is a massive pushback on 151. Let's say nobody likes 151 anymore. Over time, of course, it's going to do good, but we could see a very similar pattern to what Evolutions did for a long period of time, where it gets that spike when it's out of print, then it stays stagnant for a long time as all that stock has to be eaten up. And then maybe 5 or 10 years later, we truly see what 151 can do. I think it's an extremely good investment, but I think things like Crown Zenith are way better just because of the fact that 151 has potentially 1 or even at worst 2 more years worth of prints ahead of it still. Next up is Pow Fates. If you don't have Pow Fates, get some Pow Fates, please. Pow Fates is so good. Bubble Mew is the chase of the era. While it's not the hardest card to pull, you cannot tell me that that card is not one of the most hype cards of the era. That's the only card with an actual nickname that holds weight in this era, where people actually call the card the nickname more than actually just calling it Pow Fate Shiny Mew. Not to mention you have a shiny Charizard, a Gardevoir, and we also have to talk about the main factor that no one is talking about Pow Fates. 151 gets pushed every single day. Prismatic, even though it's starting to fall down some, it gets pushed constantly, but you never see any crazy, insane hype, at least in the moment, about Pow Fates. And with Pow Fates being 2 years old this January, being a G set, which means that it will be going out of print soon, at least TCG play-wise, I think you should own some Pow Fates. PC ETBs are extremely investable. Of course, Evolving Skies, the only reason that it's kind of this far is we're getting to a point where Evolving Skies is starting to outprice the majority of especially beginner investors, and you missed out on a bunch of gains already. I think Evolving Skies doesn't really have a limit per se, but we're getting to the point where outside of niche things like buying the ETB, I don't really recommend putting $2,000 into a singular product anymore, especially if you plan to be here long term. I think Evolving Skies will hit 5 figures, but I think things like Crown Zenith, 151, and other sets I'll be naming in this video like Pow Fates, I feel like they can do extremely good as well, and you can hold way more product for that amount. I still think it has no limit, but we're reaching those if you missed out prices. Last but not least, we have Fusion Strike. If we just look at the overall time capsule of Gengar, I really believe in looking back at price history. And Fusion Strike has so much going for it. Hard pull rates, Gengar, Espeon, Celebi, Mew. That is a very strong fork to have in your set. The set is getting older. I don't really recommend buying booster boxes, but I would say pay attention to the ETBs. Crown Zenith and Fusion Strike are in really similar price ranges for ETBs right now. Sleeve art sets are still really good. I think Fusion Strike has a bunch of room to move. But overall, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the first video. Pokechomp out.